Fighting for equal rights on the battlefield, 4 female service members have now filed a lawsuit challenging the Pentagon's ban on women serving in direct ground combat. The Pentagon says it cannot comment on the current case, and while they say they're working on a solution, the women claim it's a clear case of discrimination. Is it? Let's debate that with 20-year veteran of the Marine Corps, Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff, and the first American woman to fly in combat since the ban was lifted on women in 1991, retired Air Force Colonel Martha McSally. Good to see you both.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me on.
This is a very interesting debate. And Jessie Jane, why should women be excluded from combat?
Well, women are already participating on the front lines, so that isn't the issue here. In what I'm seeing in this lawsuit is that women are insisting upon being in combat infantry positions. That's where I feel it's inappropriate, because the requirements for them to get into the infantry are very, very extreme. There are even men that do not pick that field to go into and are put in based upon the requirements of even joining the military. So if the women are going to get into this field, all women must be capable of performing that function as the men are when they enlist into the military. Active duty personnel have to perform to a certain capability to even get in, and women right now do not have the same standards as men to even enlist in the military.
Martha?
Well, again, women are on the front lines. Women are in combat right now, in case anybody didn't get the memo. I mean, they are killing the bad guys. They are giving their lives for their country. They are coming back wounded, and they're coming back with PTSD. I mean, they're in combat. So we're talking here about an 18-year-old policy that is very outdated, that restricts women from being in any positions that are associated with a ground combat unit. And that is defined by being well forward on the battlefield. So it is very outdated, it's irrelevant, and it's a Pentagon policy that, quite frankly, they're maneuvering women around and they're attaching them to units instead of assigning them to units in order to, agree with the letter of the law, but actually allow women to actually be out in combat, because they have been very important on the battlefield, as we've seen in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the issue here is about setting standards for positions, making sure we have the best man for the job, even if it's a woman, and whatever those standards are, which include physical strength, which include aptitude, intellect, courage, leadership, all those things that we need our current soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in many positions. You set those standards, and then you recruit from the highest number of people, 100% of your population.
Right, and you make them uniform across the board. If there's any legal precedent here, Jessie Jane, it's U.S. versus Virginia 96. They say keeping women out and things such as must be based on genuine, not hypothetical statistics. They must not be overbroad generalizations about the different talents or capacities of males and females. Is this about generalizations, or is there specific data that says women cannot do the job?
There is specific data that basically indicates that women have 45% less muscle mass and 20% less lung capacity. When you're heading out into a combat situation, the field gear alone that you will carry is up to 130 pounds. I worked as a logistics Marine and supported the infantry during my 20 years. I went on force marches, humps, as we would call them in the Marine Corps, that were 12 to 15 miles long. My pack alone, just the pack, weighed 75 pounds. My Kevlar helmet, my flak jacket, and my rifle was an additional body pound of weight. I had to do that on a regular basis. Let me tell you, the physical fatigue that I experienced, I could not even imagine any man having to sustain that for 6 to 7 days at a time, which the infantry does when they're out in the field. The women that want equality in the military have to understand several things. In the field they are placed in right now, they are treated equally. They are given the adequate opportunity to get promoted in the field of their choice that they are in. But the infantry itself is a ground pounder. This is equivalent to the NFL with a 120-pound pack on your back and getting hit by a linebacker day after day.
The physical requirements are brutal. I want to get one last word from Martha real quick. Martha, some say would also upset the chemistry, if you will, of a unit. Are you at all concerned about that?
Yeah, let's just say, this is over 200,000 positions that women are currently restricted from. It's not just infantry. This is special operations helicopters. I mean, this is in a tank. This is artillery fields. This is a broad number of positions they're restricted from. And we have shown in many studies and in real world that cohesion comes from doing a mission and has nothing to do with gender. So the bottom line is that set the standards and allow women and men to compete for those jobs. Many men don't have those capabilities, and some women do.
Thank you, and thank you, Jessie
Thank
Jane
you.
Duff. We appreciate it. It's an intriguing debate. Let's continue it on Twitter. Let me know at Dave Briggs TV. Thank you both for coming on. Coming up.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Dave.
much.